Morning. The question continually comes up about Poa Annua, and that question is, Doc, my lawn is dormant right now, and I have a lot of Poa Annua showing up. Should I kill my Poa Annua? It's a good question. I'll answer that, and I'll also, in the last video, I said I was going to talk about the new DGL dark green lawn fertilizer, and I didn't, so I'll touch on that a little bit. So as you can tell, it's chilly out here this morning, and the cows are over there yelling. This is February, so this is the first week of February. Our lawns are dormant, and our Bermuda lawn probably isn't going to start really energizing, I would say probably late March for me. Now, if you're similar to that schedule, the quick answer to the question is yes. If you have a bunch of Poa Annua showing up, now you can actually go out and treat it. However, if you're getting to the point where your Bermuda lawn is coming out of dormancy, I would not treat, I would hold off. It can have some negative impact on your newly establishing Bermuda coming up. So right now, the crows in our Bermuda lawn are not active. They're actually pretty much dormant. We're still getting temperatures. I'm getting temperatures down into the 20s and 30s. So my Bermuda lawn's not going to be growing. However, Poa Annua is growing. Annual bluegrass. And in Georgia, we say Poa Annua. We don't say Poa Annua. Poa Annua. So yes, go ahead and treat it. In the description below, I'm going to link to the product I'm talking about. Typically an image. You can buy the concentrate, you can get a hose end bottle, you can get whatever you want. I'll put it in the description below, put a page. Don't forget, we cover all this in the lawn guides. The lawn guides are up. 2 million people have used them because we don't ask for your information. I don't want your information. We put them up. There's 3 websites. We built 3 websites years ago, and over 2 million people have used them. So use the lawn guides. Make sure you save it on your phone or save it on your computer, bookmark it so you have it. There's calendars, you can download everything. So let me touch on the dark green lawn fertilizer for a second. I can see in the camera, I can see a dark green stripe. Can you see that right there? That is one of our test stripes for DGL, which is dark green lawn. Now, let me preface this by saying it's not even available yet. I have the only bag in existence. I hope within the next 4 weeks or so we'll have this available. And this is kind of a unique fertilizer, and it can get kind of confusing. There is a website, darkgreenlawn.com. So you can go over there and read some stuff that we're putting up on it. But I want to show you these test stripes, and it's actually pretty interesting. So you can see, now this is perennial rye, and you can see it's starting to struggle a little bit. It's got some chlorosis, it's a little bit yellow, it's dealt with some harsh temperatures, but look at this line. This line is super thick, dark, and lush. So I'm going to go show you 2 more lines. So out front of the house by the pond area, this is annual ryegrass, and I have a test stripe out here. I think you can see that dark green stripe there. That stripe is at least twice as thick and lush as the other grass around it, and it's twice as dark. That's pretty evident to see. I mean, that's really amazing. So let me put my foot down here and you can see. So this is the untreated, and that's the treated. Man, what a difference. I mean, you can just see this big clump of grass, this big dark green clump of grass compared to that over there. Now, while I walk back over here, a lot of people are going to say that you should use Certainty to Kill, which is a little small bottle, and that covers like a full acre. They're going to say you can use Certainty to Kill Poa Annua. But man, the last time I bought Certainty, it was like $58. I just looked it up. It's $124 for a bottle. Everyone's complaining about prices on fertilizers. Everything's gone up. The next thing you need to know is that when you apply image, you're going to apply it, leave it on for a good 24 hours. Then you want to water it in. It's probably most effective in the root zone, and it's slow to work. I'm going to warn you now. You may not see yellowing of that Poa Annua for at least 10 to 14 days. It's slow to work, and especially this time of year. Look at that stripe. Is that crazy or what? So we ran a stripe from this stump. I wanted to line it up from that stump to that tree. That is crazy. John came out here and he was kind of freaking out because, I mean, this is 3 times taller and twice as dark as all the grass around it. So what is DGL? DGL dark green lawn. It's a fertilizer that I requested Anderson's develop simply because it's something I couldn't find. I wanted an all fast released, not too expensive form of nitrogen and iron. Those are the two things that will make your lawn grow fast, grow thick, and turn dark green. Again, nitrogen is the #1 source of health for a plant. So nitrogen and iron will help it turn dark green. Here's where it's used. Let's say your pH is way out of imbalance. So you have a pH problem that you're going to use, and you're going to correct that. Well, pH takes a long time to fix. And so in the meantime, you may want to, because that pH imbalance, it restricts the uptake of either nitrogen or iron. So you may want to put a little bit more down on top of your normal maintenance fertilizer. Let's say you have a low phosphorus problem. #1, it's really tough to get a high phosphorus fertilizer, which I'm kind of working on for you guys right now with Anderson's. But that can restrict, again, really low phosphorus can restrict the uptake of nutrients, iron, nitrogen. So whenever you have that kind of imbalance in your soil, that will often take quite a while to fix, you might want to give it an extra shot of nitrogen on top of what you're doing. Someone asked in the comments, if I'm using PGF Complete and putting out light coats, can I also put down a coat of the new DGL, sort of bump up the nitrogen level? Absolutely. There are a lot of grasses that are nitrogen hungry, especially when they start to emerge out. If you want to boost and bump up that emergence, sure, why not? You can, especially on an established lawn where you're not worried about roots so much, put down some DGL, put a light coat of DGL on top of your maintenance fertilizer. It can be used anytime except during stress periods where you have high heat and drought conditions. You can put out a nice light coat. Here's the difference. The difference is if you look at any pure nitrogen fertilizer, all fast release, it's going to be like a farm grade, and the pellets are like rocks. And I do use that up on my fields because it's cheap. It's just urea. It's cheap. It's big rock size. I sometimes put it up on our fields a little bit, but it doesn't work for a lawn. You have to have super, super fine particles because you want that good product distribution. So this is all fast release nitrogen and iron, 6% iron, and it's all super fine particles. What's the difference between this and Green Shocker? Green Shocker, this product, you'll see noticeable results within about 7 days. Green Shocker, because it's a DG, it's a 712 with iron. Once you water that in with Green Shocker, it's very, very mild. You can see results within 3 days. So there's just a little bit of difference, but this is a good fertilizer for general purpose. If you want to bump up the growth, make your lawn really dark and green, maybe even push your lawn a little bit, DGL is a real good fertilizer to use. The bag rate is about 5,000 square feet per bag. I would actually bump that up a little bit. I would go to maybe 6,000 square feet per bag. And if you're using it and especially if you're using it as a supplement, even cut it down even more, 6,000 or 7,000 square feet per bag, just that little extra bit of nitrogen and iron. I'm telling you, I've gotten to the point where I need to stop the testing strips, because this lawn, I need to put out fertilizer on the entire lawn, because those strips, these test strips, are so dark, thick, and tall that the rest of the lawn is suffering. So I need to go ahead and get some fertilizer down on the rest of it. So something that's kind of cool that I noticed the other day when I was running my drone out here, is when you go up high and look at these lines, you can really see the difference in these lines. So I'm going to take the drone up and I'll record this for you. And what I'll do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fly over and take a look at the pond area. And that pond area, you'll see that dark stripe. Next, I'm going to show you the backyard, and you'll see the backyard. You'll see a definite defined stripe. Then I'm going to go over to that field area, and again, you can see that dark stripe. Cows are in the background screaming. Anyways, I hope that's answered some of the questions about Poa Annua. Again, I don't like to do this treatment about the time that I'm going to be focused on our Jumpstart program, or the time that we all of a sudden we start to see green Bermuda coming up. I don't want to put down a strong killer like that. I don't want to do that. But now, while I'm still dormant and I'm all brown and the only thing I'm seeing are these pops of Poa Annua everywhere, you can mix it up. You can put in a tank sprayer. You can spot treat if you want. That's one way to do it. You can put it in a hose end sprayer. You can use it in a hose end sprayer. I think the 24-ounce concentrate will cover 6,000 square feet, I think is what it is. Read your label. Make sure you follow your label. You can do it. You can treat your whole lawn if you got a whole bunch of it. If you have certain areas, which is pretty common, it's common to have patches or different areas where you have real heavy Poa Annua. Maybe the pre-emergent didn't take in. If you put down pre-emergent, you'll see that. You'll see those patchy areas. So do whatever way works for you. But yes, everything's still dormant. Get it out. You're going to have a good 4 weeks before the Bermuda lawn actually starts to kick in. You should be all set. And I think that's about it. So I got to get doing that other video for you. I'm going to do the video on the locks, the security locks that I'm putting on all my doors that I have done for years. I'll do that next. Doc.